I'm going to be creating something original today. Now, when I say original, I mean the idea came to me when I saw YouTubers painting on paint palettes, and I thought, that looks cool. Wonder what else you could do with a paint palette. And I had a light bulb moment. No, literally, my idea involves light bulbs. So after Google searching the idea to see if it's been done before, I couldn't find anything. That's not to say the idea isn't already out there, just that after a few searches, I couldn't find it. At first I thought, great, there's no chance of me taking inspiration from anyone else. I'll have to rely solely on my own creativity and problem solving. Then I thought, I will have to rely solely on my own creativity and problem solving. What this means is when I run into a problem or I'm not sure how to make something work, I'll have no means of reference or how-tos. Anyway, my idea was to turn a clear acrylic paint palette into a wall lamp. And after thinking about it some more, I decided I could make it from scratch using resin. My plan is to use a clearish, whitish resin in the mold, then use coloured resin as paint blotches and place battery-operated fairy lights behind the painted areas so they light up. Then I will need to come up with an idea on how I will encase the whole thing neatly with the battery pack and how am I going to mount it to the wall. As I've never attempted anything like this, I have no reference and I don't know how opaque I can be making the paint splotches before the light behind it gets too dull. I reckon I'm going to need to do a bit of testing first. So for the testing phase, I am going to use UV resin just so I can get it done a little bit quicker. Now the light I want to use is this guy. Funnily enough, these were actually the cheapest to go for. They're actually rainbow lights, but I figure I'll just rip the rainbows off and then I'll have the light. And I've also got another lighting system as a backup because it's going to be trial and error. I've got this one here. You can see the lights are a little bit different. They're quite bulbous, and this is just, the outside is just made of cardboard, so I'll be able to rip this all apart, rip the light out of it I hope, and just use that, get rid of that shiny thing. Don't need that, it's just the lights. Okay, that'll do. It's got lots of bubbles and stuff in it, but I don't really care about that at the moment. It's just a tester. Oh, it's got a sticky bum. Pop that back under the UV light so it's not sticky. Okay, let's see how this goes. Okay, you can see it. I might just, oh yeah, you guys can see it too. Easy peasy. Even if it was sitting away from it a little bit. This is gonna look cool. I think the first thing is going to be measuring out the epoxy resin. Popping in that white pigment because I don't want it to be completely clear. I kind of want it to have a bit of a white frosted look like this. I would actually prefer if these look like splotches. So I suppose when I fill it up with the coloured resin, I could bring it down a little bit, make it a bit blotchy and make it look like paint. There's just been like in there. And it's time to pour some resin. This is a 2-to-1 epoxy and it's supposed to be ultra clear, so the mixture is thinner, which means the bubbles can escape. Okay, I think I've mixed it for long enough. It's until it's completely clear. There's none of that sort of whitish, opaque-ish type stuff going through it. And it's lovely and full of bubbles, but hopefully they will come out during curing. Might have to get a little flame going over them just to help pop a few. Let's get some pigment into this. Okay, I definitely need to make up more resin. See that second batch got a little skin on it, which I don't want right now. Okay, resin is well and truly set as it's basically a week later. So let's take it and mold. I've been thinking on how I'm going to encase the lights behind the palette. My original plan was to use these ones. These are the ones that I ripped off that rainbow. So I ripped this one off that zero. There's less cord in between the lights. And I just think I'm going to be able to work with these a little bit easier. So I've come up with a bit of a plan. Don't know if it's a good one, don't know if it's going to work, but we'll see what happens. So my plan is I'm going to trace around this onto some nice thick card, then mark where I want the lights onto the card and hot glue them on. Now what I did discover with these lights is I can pop these off. If I get rid of the glue, I can pop those off. So rather than sticking them on this side and then those wires will still show through the resin bit once the lights come on, if I be really clever and punch a hole, then I should be able to stick that through the hole, put that back on, little bit of glue to hold it there, and then all the cords and everything can hide behind this. The next step for me to do is to mix up my coloured UV resin. Now I'm using UV resin for this part as I only need very small amounts. Plus I'm going to be able to quickly set it with my light once I get it into the shape that I want. These are the colours that I'm going for, 10 colours, should look good. Okay, my next step that I have to problem solve is how to attach this onto there. And the idea I've come up with involves a very simple plastic straw. I'm going to use the straw as a mold for the resin. So I'll cut it to the size of the lights, same height, and then fill those bits of straw with the UV resin, pop them outside because there is a little bit of sun today, and let them set out there. final product. A little bit rough around the edges, but all in all, I'm pretty happy with it. The back's pretty rough looking. Looks more like a prototype than an actual finished product. So maybe I will try and do it again, make it look a bit neater, problem solve on how to make it look a little bit fancier. I think maybe how to enclose the sides, but I'm happy enough with how it looks. Enough that I'll pop it on the wall in my hobby room proudly. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you next time.